So let's talk about where the market's been over the last few years, where it's going to, and let's start with the run-up in prices over the last 8 to 10 years, creating quite a significant challenge for fine wine businesses generally around stock holding. There's only so much money that one has to invest in stock, and so as a consequence of that, we've seen a move towards different stock holding, different inventory management strategies. Businesses who believe in the power of stock holding and who are selling B2B within the trade as well as to consumer and on-trade. Businesses who believe in the strategic value of a virtual stock approach where they put as little money as they possibly can into stock and invest as much money as they can in sales and marketing and seek to essentially build as large a portfolio of wines as they possibly can to attract new business in. There are merchants who are moving to a blended strategy, which they're using to test new markets to see if, for example, Portuguese wines might be an interesting adjunct to the portfolio alongside their Bordeaux and more traditional markets. Businesses are also looking at virtual stock as a means of deepening the stock holding that they have in an area where they're selling through particularly successfully. And I guess what's driven that? The drivers of the move towards a range of different stock holding strategies are the run up in prices and the challenge of tying money up in stock, particularly the sort of stock that is recent releases, because there's so much competition at that point in the product maturity cycle, that it's quite tough to make good margins out of it. Whereas if you are a out and out stockholder and are committed and a great believer in the value of stock holding, then you're going to hold on to that stock for a little bit longer. You're going to wait until the rest of the market's sold through and then start to increase your margins as a result of having far less competition for that particular stock in the market. Other trends, we've seen the consumer boom during COVID, we've seen the hospitality on-trade boom post-COVID, we've seen the run-up in prices that we've discussed already, and now we're in 2023 and the market's a bit stickier than it has been in many years. And it also begs the question, with the economic challenges that we're seeing persisting in China in particular, the extent to which the fine wine market that hasn't correlated with equities and the economic cycle and has been a hedge against that cycle. We're now questioning whether that's changing and whether we're reverting to the behavior of the market back through the 90s and the early noughties, before the China discontinuity came in, where the fine wine market did correlate to the economic side. So what does that all mean? It means that people are going to have to work harder to engage with their customers. It means that people are going to have to be more mindful about the cash that they do want to invest in stock and how they may wish to adapt their stock holding positions to blend their stock holding with other sources of supply that still gives them the reach that they're looking for in the market, but without tying up so much in working capital as perhaps they may have done in the past.